Bojíte se? Výborně. Já jsem Hejkal a vítám vás v temnotách. Ahoj, ahoj, ahoj. Jmenuji Hejkala, vítám vás tady u závěrečného partu ze hry roce The Shadow of the Templars. Takže to dopadá, když prostě, že můžete v té hře i umřít. Jo, něco zkoušel, tak jo. Andy, šlos, tak. Máme si pokecat. Tak.
There's something I've been meaning to say to you, Nico.
Is this the right time and place, Josh?
There might not be another time. I don't want to waste this chance.
You don't need to say anything. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else but here, with you. Now.
You're exhausted. Why don't you get some sleep?
Sleep? At a time like this?
Excited, huh?
Would you like something to help you sleep, dearie? I've got some tablets in my bag.
Oh, no. Thank you.
Thanks all the same, ma'am.
Jste pronikl s Nico, ale ještě si pronikl s paní.
Pardon me?
Yes, my dear.
Do you know what time we're due in Sterling?
5:45, but we're running 8 minutes late.
Dobře, já jsem říkal to míst.
Do you know Sterling well?
Yes, I do. Is that where you two lovebirds abound?
Yeah,
It's one of the places we thought we'd stay on our holiday.
Be sure to visit the castle, won't you?
Oh, I'm sure it's a neat place, but we are not really interested in history, are we, George?
No.
I suppose espresso bars and boogie-woogie are more your cup of tea.
That's right! There's nothing George enjoys more than a good boogie.
Is there a church called St. Ninian's at Sterling?
Yes, there is, and I know why you're going there.
You do?
Of course I do. It's obvious you're in love. You're eloping, and they say romance is dead.
Pěkný.
What's the book you're reading?
Oh, it's something I picked up at the station. A medieval detective story. Quite well written for that kind of thing. It's been out of print for years.
What's the title of the book?
The Crooked Crusader Caper by Molly Pegram. I assumed the author was a woman, but apparently not. His real name is...
Professor Nigel Pegram.
That's right. Do you know him?
No, I never met him.
George is a great fan of his, though.
Zkusme odejít.
Where are you going, George?
Do I need to spell it out?
Don't snap at me! If you're going to take a leak, why don't you say so?
Okay, I'm going to take a leak. L-E-A-K.
Tickets, please.
Oh, hi.
That's a standard full-price peak return. Don't you have a senior citizen's rail card?
I rarely travel by train. My ticket is perfectly valid, is it not?
Well, yeah, but you could have saved up to a third of the cost.
I do not need to indulge in puffling thriftiness.
Blimey, you're a funny old bird and no mistake. Tickets, please, sir.
Here.
Jasně, jakož mi jedenky.
Off to Sterling, eh?
Yes, we are.
Well, I hope you won't be disappointed. It's a miserable place this time of year. Still, there's plenty of pubs and a lovely view from the castle.
Thank you.
No.
I don't want to worry you, but there was something familiar about that guy.
Are you sure? You're tired. Perhaps you're mistaken.
Maybe. But I didn't like the look in his eyes when he spoke to you.
No, půjdeme.
Can't you sit still, George?
I need to go to the John.
While you're there, check out the buffet car, George. Unthinkable though it is, I am hungry enough to eat English food.
Okay.
Tak schválně. Kam až se dneska dostanu? Jestli dohraju celý Broken Sword. A jdu pozdravit opilce.
Hi. Having a party?
No, this is breakfast. Come on, join us, man. Away, Basha, wake up, man. What's company?
His breath was like the outlet from a chemical factory.
Excuse my mate, he's taking a nap. Sleeping like a bobby. I'll wake him up when we get to Newcastle.
We passed through Newcastle half an hour ago.
And I never noticed.
What is that stuff you're drinking? It smells like gasoline.
Aye, I'll put hairs in your chest, like.
On your eyeballs, too, by the looks of you. See you later.
Zastavím, kamarádi. Jo. Potřebuji tu i takhle projít. A koho pak to vidíme? No jo.
That gangster creep from the hotel, Guido. Well, he didn't scare me.
Guido je ten tlustý,
Hey,
že jo?
Buster,
Tohle není
this is
tlustý.
a no-smoking car. Okay, maybe he did scare me. It got worse. I suddenly realized who the conductor had reminded me of. Eklund, Marquet's murderer.
Tak jo. Já teda odsud se podejdu zpátky. Tady tohle musí teda Niko přesně vědět. Tohle by měl Niko vědět. Doufám, že jdu teda do toho správného vagónu, že jo? Jo. A cože? Jsou?
I should have known better than to leave Nico and the old lady alone. Suddenly, the sword of Baphomet took second place to finding the girl I loved.
Půjdeme za opilcema.
Hey, buddy. Did you see what happened to the young woman in the next compartment?
No, Paul, I didn't. Have you lost her, like?
She's disappeared. The old lady, too. I think they're in trouble.
Oh, yeah, man, an old lady, too.
Yeah. You gotta help me.
Maybe they went to the toilet, like.
I don't think so.
They never go on their own. Always in pairs, you know.
No, she's been abducted, I'm sure. I've got to go look for her.
What's stopping you, pal?
The conductor. He's not what he seems.
You want to avoid him, like?
That's about it, yeah.
No problem.
Listen, I need your help.
What's the matter?
There's a guy on this train who's trying to kill me.
Relax, man. You wouldn't try nothing with us in Basharia. We are veterans, like, so action at Brightlingsea.
I don't recall the British Army being involved in a conflict at anywhere called Brightlingsea.
Well, you just take it from me, pal. You're in safe hands.
See you later.
Give it to it, pal. Don't jump.
I don't intend to jump. I'm going to climb on top of the train.
You're kidding, aren't you?
Just watch me.
Hold on there, pal. I'll give you a hand, like.
Tak. Tam to nepůjdeme, protože tady nás to zabilo, takže půjdeme tudy. Dám Ela hop, Georgi, tak. Šup. Na les. Dělej.
I'd always wanted to stop a train, and now was my chance.
Super. A co? Tak ano.
You saved our lives, but why?
We were always on the same side, Stobart. Different causes, but a common enemy.
The Knights Templar?
Don't call them that. The real Templars were a noble foe. These barbarians have no right to that name. These men are no better than dogs.
What are the Neo-Templars after? What is the Sword of Baphomet?
Not what you think, my friend. It is a weapon, yes, but one which our enemies will find difficult to wield. A double-edged sword. A power older than Demolay, older than Solomon.
We'll stop them. You and me together. And Nico.
No, George. My journey ends soon at the Garden of Paradise.
You're talking in riddles. Can't you tell me straight what they're after?
The sword symbolizes a colossal energy caused by the alignment of the Earth's natural power fields.
Which are focused at St. Ninian's.
The energy endowed the Templars with the power which made them great. A power which made them charismatic to such an extent they could control the will of all around them.
A jak se to vlastně z té píči hlavy?
How did you escape from the bull's head?
It is a long walk from the cliff of the bull to the village, Stobart. Fortunately, I know the ways of the wilderness. Also, I have a sister who keeps a garage just around the corner.
Okay.
May Allah guide you to our enemies.
Thanks.
One last thing.
What? What is it? He's dead.
Okay. Nico.
Nico looked good, even in robes. Nico looked good, even in robes. Nico looked good.
Sakra.
Don't even think about it, George.
What? Who?
Look me straight in the eye and tell me you weren't thinking of using that axe on Eklund.
Don't be foolish, woman. I was gonna use it on you.
Don't even think about it, George.
What? Who?
Look me straight in the eye and tell me you weren't thinking of using that axe on Eklund.
Don't be foolish, woman. I was gonna use it on you.
Zkusím odejít. Ženská
Where do you
má...
think you're going?
Don't worry. I hadn't forgotten about you.
Answer me this instant, George Stobart.
I will. When I'm ready.
That's not fair, George.
No.
You took advantage while my hands were tied.
When Eklund pointed that gun at me, I thought I was gonna die. I thought of all the things I'd never get to do, and kissing you was at the top of my list.
George,
Uh-huh.
George, we've got to get off the train. Eklund could recover at any time.
So what are we waiting for?
Několik minut později. Jsme už u místa, kam jsme se měli dostat. Nebo ne?
I'd feel happier if we had a gun or something.
Khan gave me something.
What?
His handbag.
Oh, great. If we run into any killers, we can give them a good buffeting. Didn't he have any weapons?
You don't know the half of it. This bag's full of C4.
Wow. Why didn't you say so? Boy, We'll show them now. What's C4?
Plastic, George.
We're going to shop our way to victory?
2 kilos of plastic explosive. The detonator's broken now.
No problem. We'll buy a box of matches somewhere.
It doesn't work that way. It takes a small explosion to start the big explosion.
Well, that's not much use then. What does that sign say?
Apparently, during the English Civil War in the mid-17th century, this place was used as an arms dump.
Yeah? What happened?
Look at the state of this place, George. You work it out.
Oh, stray spark?
You got it. The tower was the only thing to survive the blast.
I hope the explosion didn't destroy the Sword of Baphomet.
Do you? I rather hope it did.
Půjdeme dovnitř. Já si tady na chvíľku zase odmlčím, možná už naposledy. A pak se uvidíme do závěrečných scény možná. Tak já jsem zpátky a ještě to tady pro jistotu si to tady ještě savenu. Baphomet. A tady prozkoumat pořádně, George.
I scrabbled around in the rubble and found an old clay pipe with a broken stem. The wheel turned reluctantly with a creak of complaint. There was no obvious way of removing the wheel from its housing. Examining the demon more closely, I realized something about its face. It was a clever illusion. No matter where I stood, the eyes weren't looking at me. There was a simple reason. The demon didn't have any eyes. With the clay pipe in his mouth, he looked happy, homely, like somebody's granddaddy.
What do you think you're doing, Josh?
I wondered if there was a secret mechanism in the demon's mouth.
Maybe you should show a little more respect.
For a mythical medieval demon? Give me a break.
Okay, go right ahead. Meddle with forces you don't understand. Incur the demon's wrath and burn in hell. Just see if I care.
I ran my fingers across the cold stone and probed the holes in the demon's eyes. Beneath them, the mouth formed another hole. But I wasn't about to put my finger in there. The wheel turned reluctantly with a creak of complaint. There was no obvious way of removing the wheel from its housing. I ran my fingers across beneath them. The pipe helped a lot. He looked almost human, but I felt there was something lacking. Under one of the stones, I found a metal coin which was green with age.
Tak, šup sem.
I tried pushing the panel, but wasn't surprised when it failed to move.
Tak se jí zeptám.
Nico?
Uh-huh.
Look! I found an old coin! You think it's worth anything?
Josh, focus on the situation at hand, please.
I ran my fingers across the cold stone and...
Jsem zpátky. Neč přerušeníčko. A zjišťuji, že jsem možná udělal dead end, což znamená...
It was caked with soil, but what I'd found was a small cog and
No, snad jsem neudělal ty dead end, jako že by tady byl nějaký problém v tomhle. Bych se zarazil na konec, ale počkat, já tady musím použít, ne?
The wheel turned reluctantly with a... There was no obvious... The cog was one of those objects I wished I hadn't carried in my pocket. Nico?
Uh-huh.
Any suggestions what I could do with this cog?
Well...
Jako já bych ho tam použil, ale... Nevím si tohle.
The cog slipped neatly into the eye socket. The cog turned freely, but nothing happened. The wheel turned reluctantly with a creak of complaint. There was no obvious way of removing the wheel from its housing.
Musím se to ještě pohrabat v tomhle.
With mounting excitement, I felt something between my fingers. It was short, hard, and black. Something I hadn't expected to find here. It was a plastic pen top.
Okay. Protože já pochybuju, že ta hřída k něčemu bude, že tam to bude k něčemu.
I pushed the pen top into the mouth, and it disappeared somewhere inside the statue. It had probably gone straight to Biro Hell. The cog turned freely, but nothing happened. The wheel turned reluctantly with a creak of complaint. There was no obvious way of removing the wheel from its housing.
Já to teď zkusím. Protože jestli to nějaký debil, jestli to nějaký hloupý dead end. Já jsem tady hled. Počkej, tady to musíme teda 3krát prohledat, jo? 3krát pohlápat na vodu.
I scrabbled around in the
Máme
rubble and found it.
dýmku.
Under one of the stones,
co dál?
It was caked
pero.
with mounting. It was short.
A
It
co dál?
was.
Nic jsem našel.
I didn't
Samozřejmě,
find
takže
anything.
dobrý, máme to teda takhle. Kdybych to teď nějak spojil.
That is not a good idea.
Teď, když to zkusím dát do té tlamy, to.
The cog slipped neatly into the eye socket. The cog turned freely, but nothing happened. I pushed the pen top into the mouth, and it disappeared somewhere inside the statue. It had probably gone straight to Biro Hell. With the clay pipe in his mouth, he looked happy, homely, like somebody's granddaddy.
What do you think you're...
I wondered if there was a secret mechanism in the demon's mouth.
Maybe you should show a little more respect.
For a mythical medieval demon? Give me a break.
Okay. Incur the demon...
Jasně, takže teď to zkusím.
The cog turned freely.
Nechci přímo tohle.
The cog turned... The wheel turned reluctantly with a creak of complaint. There was no obvious way of removing the wheel from its housing. It was a simple cog arrangement with a handle to turn the larger wheel. The wheel turned reluctantly with a creak of complaint.
Já se
There
podívám
was
na
no
návod.
obvious way of
Pak se vám
removing the wheel
ozvu.
from its housing.
No. Ahoj, jsem zpátky teda. Ještě jsem si drogal samozřejmě někde chybku asi. A jak se zdá, tady prostě musím urvat tady tu tyč.
The wheel turned reluctantly with a creak of complaint. There was no It was a simple cog arrangement with a handle. The wheel marks on the wheel had marks. The wheel turned there was no
Jasně,
I
získáme
scrambled
dýmku. Jasně, další
under
věc.
one of the. It was caked with mounting it was short. It was.
Tak.
The wheel had marks on. The wheel turned. There was no. It was a simple. The stone face of the demon. It was so realistic. I could.
Jo,
The
teď
handle
až. Aha, takže to jsem přeskočil něco.
Damn! Then the handle came off in
Super.
my hand. Now that the handle was gone, it was easy to remove the cog and spindle.
Teď už tady můžu krásně začít tady osedlávat našeho demona.
The cog slipped
Já pak tím
neatly
pak
into the eye
vlastně
socket.
otevřu.
With a rasp of metal on stone, I eased the second eye into place.
Otevřu si vlastně dveře.
I pushed the handle into the demon's mouth. The cogs all meshed. I began to turn.
Aspoň doufám, že nám to otevře dveře. No, tyhle, 2 návody jsem musel pojmout, na 2 návody. Textový a video.
As soon as I saw the flickering torches, I realized the bogus Templars had beaten us to the sword. But where were they now? And why was it so quiet?
No, Georges!
What?
Leave the torch right where it is. In case you haven't noticed, the crypt is full of gunpowder.
So what? Don't you trust me?
It's not a question of trust.
No? You think I'm a jerk, don't you?
Don't be silly, Georges. And keep your voice down. I thought I heard something. Like chanting.
Okay, tak tohle pak vezmeme pak až na zpáteční cestě.
Listen, I can definitely hear chanting.
You're right. I hear it too. What do you suppose they're doing?
It wouldn't surprise me if they were holding some kind of satanic sex ritual.
So, what are we waiting for? Shh!
To znělo, kdyby se chtěl přidat spíš. Tak na co těkáme? Už chápu, že tam celou dobu nebyla ona jako, že byl jenom on sám, protože ona nevypadá zrovna.
Will you look at that? Baphomet. Labino was right. This place was ancient even to the Templars.
This whole place? This is Baphomet?
Finally, the truth. The Templars had never worshipped this graven image, no more than they'd worship a rainbow. But, like a rainbow, they regarded it as a symbol of a covenant with God, who'd revealed this place to them.
Rosso! Why, the double-dealing treacherous?
On the contrary, Inspector Rosso has been the model of obedience, an important quality in a true Templar. Now be quiet and watch if you wish to live much longer.
Brothers and sisters, we are gathered here to witness the reforging of the sword that was broken. Here before God's sentinel, Baphomet. Grand Master and Knight of Baphomet, we salute and pledge our obedience to you!
I salute you, gatekeeper of the temple. Seven centuries ago, our greatest weapon, the sword of Baphomet, was lost to us. Now we prepare to reforge it, to wield against new enemies. As the tired millennium dies, and this world looks for new leaders, we shall not fail. We shall lead the people to a new order, wherein all borders will dissolve. All will be united under the red cross of the Templars.
Kita tutup itu, resort ke lain, kita tak lalu itu.
George, we have watched your efforts to stop us with respect. But surely you realize that you have been misled by our enemies. Both of us want a better world. Fortunately, no harm has been done. We need determined, resourceful men like you. Join us, George. Join us in true brotherhood.
Yeah. True. Wait. Brothers? What about Marquet? What about Pegram and Klausner? You didn't look on them as brothers, only as failures. 3 men dead, and you don't give a damn!
George, you know that sacrifices are necessary. Every great undertaking.
Join you? I'll see you in hell first.
Oh, George, I had great hopes for you. C'est la guerre. Eklund, kill him.
Kam by šel Rosso, já ho viděl, ale sakra.
I swear, I just wanted things to be right.
Take them. Kill them. They will not
Doufám, že to stíhám.
escape.
Dělej. Běžte.
Well, well. If it isn't the great detective and his beautiful assistant, it's going to be a pleasure killing the pair of you.
George, what are we going to do?
Come on, Nico. We're leaving.
You fools! You cannot escape us. Guido! Stop them.
But master, the powder!
That powder is from the English Civil War. You fool. It's over 300 years old. How explosive do you think it can be?
I thought it was all over, but Nico had one last trick up her sleeve. Or in her handbag, to be exact. A handbag full of plastic explosives.
Maybe, but this stuff is brand new.
Oh, dear.
Ticho, pryč, dojte. No, pojďte, co to mít. Tohle principálně bylo chápu, ne? Tak. Jsme na konci.
You know, you'll never be able to write your story now.
I don't care. I've got what I want.
Huh?
Just tell me one thing, George. Is our life together always going to be this crazy?
Tak jo, už jde si ty titulky. Bych měl teď to rozhodnotit. Byla pro mě opravdu jakože byla to hra, která prostě adventura, no, tak jsem se chvíli ještě žít, ale mrzí mě to, že už to skončilo, no, už skončila adventura. Ale Broken Sword má 5 dílů, a mám tady vlastně ještě fanouškovský díl 2,5. Tady se teda navazuje nějak, jakoby tady se spíš zasazuje mezi 2 a 3, ale my jsme se měli zasazovat mezi 1 a 2, takové. Takže pán ho určitě natočím. Teď mám ale v plánu natočit ten, teď mám v plánu natočit Templars Requiem. Pak mám dále, ten seznam mám ještě Call of Cthulhu, Shadow to Konec. Trošku horší adventurka, ale příběhově to je nádherná adventura, takže proč ne? Ale Broken Sword byla útočka, kterou bych označil jako za výtvarný umění, nebál bych se prostě. A těším se na druhý díl, těším se prostě na pokračování, protože opravdu Broken Sword, byť mě to občas dá zabrat, je to fakt nádherná adventura. A nelituju toho, že jsem u ní strávil čas. I když ji vlastně natáčím na 2krát. Nelituju, že jsem u ní strávil čas i to na 2krát a natáčení. Opravdu nádherná adventura. A jsem to rád. Jsem mohl teď ho hrát. Já vlastně píšou, že vlastně bude příští díl se vlastně odehrává vlastně v džungli. Vlastně, že to bude jako ohně májů, už to bude. To bude vlastně z ohně májů, takže nevím, no. A mám tady roce ještě od Revolution tadyhle z těch, co vlastně vytvořili pro koncort, mám vlastně další 2 hry, které jsou Beneath Steel Sky a Lure of the Templars. Každopádně hru jsem dokončil. Konec. Je to smutný, no. Už jsme na konec. Ale tak co? Tak už tak bývá. Děkuji, že jste tady se mnou byli. A uvidíme se u další hry. Adios. Videa, kam pak bys odcházel? Můžeš se podívat tady na videa, který pro tebe YouTube vyhodnotí jako nejlepší, nebo tadyhle na seznam videí z tady toho playlistu celkovýho. Až potom můžeš odejít. Bye bye.